Hey guys, Rick Denham here, Holy Moly Outdoors. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this episode of Tech Tip Tuesday. We're continuing on some twitch and jig talk, but this time we're going to cover some tipping with bait and help you guys get more fish in the boat or on the bank. So stay tuned, it's going to be an awesome episode. So like I said guys, we are talking tipping our twitch and jigs with bait. 2 episodes ago of our Tech Tip Tuesday, we were talking about how to scent your twitch and jigs. Whether it was with a spray or with a powder, you guys had a way to add scent to your jigs regardless of the situation. A lot of them very easy, non-messy. Well, this episode tonight will cover another alternative to the scent realm. But in addition, this is going to be a continuation of scent to help you guys trigger more strikes. So we're talking tipping our jigs with bait, and a couple ways that I honestly picked up over the last couple years on some articles that came about. I think they were from Salmon Trout Steelhead was one of them, but I know I can't take this for my credit, but I saw again Bob Kratzer, just an absolute killer guide on the coast, really does well on coho. Started seeing an article that came out regarding using bait to tip them with. And so I have a couple things lined out in front of me that really highlights the availability of this time of the year, but also ease for an everyday fisherman to either get themselves prepped or have in order just to add a little bit extra to your bait. Because reality is with your twitch and jigs, if you're already having them scented, that's great, but that scent does wear off after a certain amount of time. So tipping your jig with a little bit of bait can just only help you out. And in fact, when you get those really pressured fish, it could be the difference of just a little difference to make those fish bite. So we're talking tonight two options in front of you see here, right? So I have 2 of our Holy Blade twitch and jigs in front of me, but any twitch and jig will really do, to be honest guys. But what we got is a tiger prawn and we got squid, and the reason why those 2 are here is because guys, there's a durability with these 2 baits. Squid being the first, that is legitimately like rubber. You can put a strip of squid like I cut here, you can make it long if you want a longer tail to move in the water with it. You could cut that in half and just have a small little bit to tip on your jig. But squid will last so long for you, and what's great about it too, so this is a raw squid cape from a fresh caught squid, and we'll do that in another episode of showing you guys that. But these squid can be fished directly like I have here, raw, unscented. They got the natural UV everything with them, so it works great that way. But you can take the squid, you can put it in your own curing process, whether it be a liquid or an egg cure itself. You can brine those up to make them even tougher and have different colors, different scents, really customizable. You basically have a blank canvas there to work with. So that squid, like I said, is just a great one to tip on your jig to add, whether you're for the twitch and jigs, and frankly what's around the corner for steelhead, and we'll cover that in another video. The second bait we got in front of us here is the tiger prawn. Tiger prawn is very easily accessible. You guys can pick those up at your local grocery store if you don't have access to what you may have caught during the year. So these tiger prawns, very inexpensive. You can pick them up in a giant frozen package, and that's what I would recommend, only because you're getting more for your money. But you can just go ahead and buy these in a pre-package that are unfrozen as well. So I've taken what you see here as a full tiger prawn. I've cut them in half, and there's some videos and actually an article out there where they did utilize a cut strip from the tiger prawn, and it looks like it'll work great. But to be honest with me, that's a lot of work on my end that I didn't have time for tonight. So you can brine these, and that's going to be something that helps toughen these up. But in the meantime of that, you can just go ahead and take, with the skin on, throw a tip on there, and you're ready to go. Because I cut these into chunks, and that chunk will easily tip on your jig. You can put these in some salt that's uncured, obviously, and it works great. So shrimp is a very common bait. It helps a lot because the shrimp is, again, like a canvas that you can do whatever you want to it. So I could put some egg cure to that. It can give some different scents and different colors. You can toughen them up. You can just chop these up into some chunks, throw them into some salt the night before. They'll absorb a lot of that water that's excess, toughen those babies up, and just a little tip like these chunks on the hook base, you're rocking and rolling to have yourself some quality tipping bait that will end up lasting a long time. And then again, going back to the video we did a couple nights ago, we would have ability then with those scents to add to it and just overall enhance the entirety of the effectiveness of the jig. The biggest thing I can say when you're tipping a twitching jig is you don't want to impart too much bait, because then you're going to affect the action. So minimizing the size will create effectiveness. So what you guys see here are just two options with shrimp and with squid. Really, you guys can find others, and if you have something that works for you guys, I want you to comment down below. I love hearing your feedback. I would love to know if there's some other ones out there that you could be using that work maybe better. But for squid, you have a very tough material that will last not just a long time, but multiple fish. You can cut those strips. I think those are about 4 inches right there. You cut them in half and have a small section to add to your jig. The shrimp, like I said, works just as it is right there, uncured, untouched, just cut up into smaller chunks, or you can add scent to them and egg cures, dyes, whatever you may want, and from there you can really be effective. So I hope this helps you guys tonight. I'll even show you guys here. We're going to cut this up to showcase, but this squid in particular, grab that. So I just have a 1.5 2 inch piece, right? Got my twitching jig, and just like that, got a nice little, almost like a pork rind that's on there, like you would for bass fishing. And that little bit is just enough, right? It's going to add a little contrast first off, and it's going to be able to add that scent to your jig. So there's your squid. Now if you want to do the same thing, go over to our shrimp. You can then just pull off the legs, but you got the casing on the back of this, right? The shell. Go right through that. You have a little bit of shrimp. Toughen that up. If you want to make that stay even longer, with the shrimp in particular, since it's a softer bait, throw a bait button on here. You're rocking and rolling. But you got a tipped and effective presentation that now has bait on it. Add my scents, even more effective. You're rocking and rolling to catch some more fish this fall. So thank you so much, guys. Hope this really helped you out. I can't wait to see, even though how with this drop of water, what that brings in for the amount of fish. Can't wait to hear what you guys think and have some other opinions, which works for you guys. So give us a like, give us a thumbs up below. Really like to see what your guys' input is on your favorites. And there's a lot more coming soon. We're getting to the end of fall here with the coho, but that also means we got chum showing up, and our steelhead season is just around the corner. So stay tuned with us, take care, and we'll catch you on the water. Fish on!